When you have cancer, you fight. The desire for a person to live it's something that is in all of us. She received this prescription and she had it merely as a last resort. She received this prescription and she put it in the cupboard and we focused on living life. She focused on the things that were important to her. She focused on researching all of the treatment options that are out there, all the clinical trials that are available, both in the United States and internationally. We looked at everything. My wife wanted to live. There was nothing in her. There was no fiber in her entire being that wanted to leave this earth. But the tumor was not allowing for that. The tumor was ending her life. She took the aid in dying medication. Within 5 minutes, she fell asleep. And within 30 minutes, her breathing slowed to the point where she passed away, gently, peacefully. There was no anxiety, there was no struggling, there was no the pain, the discomfort. There was none of that. It was a gentle passing. That's not what would have occurred if the brain tumor would have run its course. The idea that we had to leave California, the idea that after she was told she has 6 months to live and that we have to drive 600 miles north just to get across some imaginary line in the dirt, on some map that then means that we're in Oregon so she could apply for, qualify for, and finally be granted this prescription. The idea that we had to go through that was something that Brittany was just upset about. My promise to Brittany was to do whatever I can to get legislation passed. The focus being for me on California, because that was our home state, but to get the legislation passed so that nobody has to go through what Brittany went through and what we went through having to move. In Governor Brown's statement where he says that if he were in that position, he's not sure what decision he might make. But he feels it's not his place, or really anybody's, to keep that option from a terminally ill individual like Brittany. And that truly is why Brittany spoke up last year. Her message was simply that she's the only one that can make that decision for herself. The critics said that we would not be able to get this through. So, a great sense of pride in my wife for having made the difference that she made and proving the critics wrong. Clearly they underestimated her story and the power that one voice can have. So at times I'll talk to the dogs, and maybe at times even if there's photos of Brittany around the house, and in a sense I'll have a short conversation with the photo of her and me in it, or with the dogs, as if Brittany's still there. But no, generally for me, she's in my heart and in my thoughts. And I guess in the wise words of Dr. Seuss, you can even in saying it brings up the emotion. You can cry that it's over, or you can smile that it happened.